Have you ever wondered why some men seem to command respect effortlessly, attract women naturally, and navigate life with unwavering confidence, while others constantly chase validation, approval, or affection? What if I told you that it's not about charm, money, or looks, but about what you refuse to do? That's right. The secret of alpha men isn't in what they give. It's in what they never compromise on. Today we're diving into the 10 things alpha men never do for women, and understanding these truths could change your life, your relationships, and the way you command respect forever. Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly how to stand tall, protect your energy, and live life on your own terms. Things 1. Alpha men never chase approval. Approval is a drug, and most men are addicted to it.
Alpha men break free from this trap.
They don't bend their values, opinions, or actions to please a woman. Why? Because seeking approval is weakness disguised as charm. When a man constantly needs validation, it's visible, it's energy draining, it's unattractive, and it diminishes respect. Imagine walking into a room with your head held high, knowing you don't need anyone's validation to feel worthy. That's alpha energy. Alpha men embrace discomfort. They accept rejection without collapsing. They understand that a woman's respect is earned through integrity, courage, and authenticity, not flattery or compromise of self. Actionable advice. Start today by identifying one area in your life where you seek approval unnecessarily, whether at work, social situations, or in dating. Pause. Reflect. Resist the urge to bend. Stand firm. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Emotionally, this is transformative. Women feel the confidence radiating from a man who stands unwavering, not desperate. And over time, respect replaces attraction for those who try to control you. Alpha men know this instinctively. They understand that approval is fleeting, but self-respect is eternal. Things 2. Alpha men never compromise their values. Values aren't suggestions, they are non-negotiable. Alpha men never sacrifice their principles to gain favor, attention, or affection from a woman. When you bend your core beliefs for someone else, you send a signal. You're negotiable, not grounded. Stoicism teaches us that external forces should not dictate our inner compass. Alpha men internalize this. They don't lie, cheat, or compromise their vision just because a woman wants it. They understand that integrity is magnetic, and women instinctively sense when a man is rooted in truth. Actionable advice. Write down your top 3 core values. Identify scenarios where you may be tempted to compromise them for temporary gain. Decide today, no exceptions. Every time you honor your values, you reinforce your confidence, and the people who truly matter will respect you even more. Emotionally, living by your values brings a peace that chasing approval never can. You become untouchable, not because you're aloof, but because your life reflects unwavering authenticity. Women are drawn not to flexibility and morals, but to men who embody conviction. Things 3. Alpha men never beg for attention. Attention is a resource, scarce and precious. Alpha men understand this. They never beg, plead, or manipulate to be noticed or loved. Doing so signals weakness and insecurity. Alpha men cultivate their lives, passions, and purpose, and attention follows naturally. Psychologically, begging for attention creates imbalance. When you chase, you give power away. When you cultivate presence, the power returns to you. Women are instinctively attracted to men who have full lives, not men who orbit around theirs desperately. Actionable advice. Take one area of your life where you seek attention, social media, dating apps, or personal interactions, and consciously step back. Focus on self-growth. Your magnetism will increase exponentially, and your energy will attract attention without ever needing to chase it. Emotionally, this is liberating. You no longer feel drained by external validation. Alpha men know attention is a byproduct of a fulfilling, purposeful life. You don't chase it, it finds you. And women notice immediately. Things 4. Alpha men never sacrifice. Self-respect. Self-respect is the foundation of alpha energy. Alpha men never degrade themselves, tolerate disrespect, or compromise dignity for temporary affection. They walk away when boundaries are crossed, not because they lack love, but because they value themselves too much to settle. Imagine a man who laughs when belittled, apologizes for expressing needs, or tolerates manipulation. It's painful to watch. Alpha men do the opposite. They set boundaries clearly, enforce them consistently, and expect respect in return. Actionable advice. Identify one area where your self-respect is being compromised: work, friendships, or relationships. Set a firm boundary today. Observe the transformation. Confidence rises, relationships become healthier, and life feels lighter. Emotionally, women are drawn to men who value themselves unconditionally. Respect is magnetic. When you refuse to compromise your dignity, you signal strength, maturity, and stability, a combination few men achieve. Things 5. Alpha men never let emotions control decisions. Alpha men master their emotions. They do not let temporary feelings dictate long-term actions. Stoicism teaches that emotional discipline is power. Alpha men feel deeply, yes, but they act consciously, strategically, and with clarity. Why is this important? Emotional reactions can ruin relationships, destroy opportunities, and erode respect. Alpha men take time to process, reflect, and act intentionally. They respond, they don't react. Actionable advice. Next time you feel anger, jealousy, or insecurity rising, pause. Breathe. Ask, will this action serve my purpose or feed my ego? Practice daily, and gradually emotional mastery becomes instinctive. Emotionally, women sense stability. They feel safe. Alpha men are anchors, not emotional roller coasters. And in a world where chaos is constant, this control is irresistible. Thing 6. Alpha men never fear. Loneliness. One of the greatest traps men fall into is fear. Fear of being alone, fear of missing out, fear of losing affection. Alpha men, however, embrace solitude as strength, not weakness. They understand that dependence on others for happiness is a silent prison. True freedom comes when you can thrive alone. Imagine a man who needs constant companionship or approval to feel validated. His identity is fractured. Contrast that with the alpha man. He enjoys his own company, pursues passions relentlessly, and cultivates inner peace. He doesn't chase women to fill emptiness. Instead, he attracts them because of his radiant self-sufficiency. Actionable advice. Spend time alone intentionally. Pick up a hobby, learn a skill, or reflect on your goals without distractions. When you grow comfortable with solitude, you unlock a confidence that's magnetic. Women and life itself recognize a man who can stand alone, yet chooses connection on his terms. Emotionally, this is transformative. No longer do you feel desperate for attention, approval, or companionship. Your energy is whole, centered, and potent. Alpha men understand that loneliness is not a curse, it's a tool. Use it to strengthen your purpose, your clarity, and your sense of self. And when a woman enters your life, she does so as an addition to your happiness, not the source of it. Thing 7. Alpha men never play games. Games are born from insecurity, manipulation, and fear of vulnerability. Alpha men don't manipulate emotions, lie to gain advantage, or use deception to feel powerful. Their interactions are honest, direct, and authentic. Why? Because time is precious and energy is valuable. Alpha men don't waste either on petty emotional games. Think about dating culture today. Texting games, social media tactics, or emotional push and pull. Most men fall into the trap of trying to win affection instead of showing genuine interest. Alpha men break this cycle. They communicate clearly, express intentions openly, and act consistently. Their integrity sets them apart and builds trust instantly. Actionable advice. Examine one area of your life where you might be playing games, perhaps in dating, friendships, or work. Commit today to honesty and transparency. Observe the reactions. Those who respect you will rise to match your energy, and those who don't will naturally fall away. Emotionally, this brings freedom. You no longer exhaust yourself pretending, calculating, or strategizing. Alpha men live their truth unapologetically, and women are naturally drawn to this authenticity. It signals security, emotional maturity, and reliability. Remember, honesty isn't just the best policy, it's a magnetic force. Things 8. Alpha men never sacrifice ambition for affection. Ambition is a core part of alpha identity. Alpha men understand that success, purpose, and growth are non-negotiable, even in relationships. They do not give up their dreams or slow their progress to accommodate someone else's comfort or insecurity. Many men make the fatal mistake of prioritizing a woman's approval over their goals. They compromise careers, passions, and standards for temporary affection. Alpha men do the opposite. They cultivate excellence, create value, and pursue mastery relentlessly. Their dedication inspires respect, admiration, and natural attraction. Actionable advice. Identify your top 3 ambitions: career, fitness, personal growth, or financial independence. Ask yourself, am I compromising these for approval or affection? Make a commitment to honor these priorities. Pursue them with relentless energy. Women will be drawn not because you chase them, but because you are unstoppable in your life. Emotionally, this approach is empowering. You feel fulfilled, confident, and magnetic. Women sense a man who commands his life with focus, someone who is fully alive. Alpha men know that real connection thrives when both partners are strong individuals, not when one sacrifices themselves to please the other. Things 9. Alpha men never tolerate disrespect. Disrespect is a deal breaker. Alpha men understand this innately. They set clear boundaries and enforce them consistently. They do not tolerate belittling, condescension, or manipulation from anyone, especially women they are interested in. Think about it: when a man allows disrespect, he signals weakness, insecurity, and unworthiness. Alpha men, on the other hand, stand firm, speak their truth, and walk away when boundaries are crossed. This is not arrogance, it's self-preservation and integrity. Actionable advice. Reflect on recent interactions where you felt disrespected but stayed silent. Commit to assertiveness next time. Express your boundaries clearly, and if violated, remove yourself without guilt. The emotional weight lifts immediately. Women, and people in general, are drawn to men who command respect without intimidation. Disrespect cannot exist in the presence of alpha energy. By refusing to tolerate it, you cultivate a reputation of strength, confidence, and self-worth that is impossible to ignore. Things 10. Alpha men never forget their purpose. Purpose is the soul of alpha energy. Alpha men live intentionally with a mission, vision, and unwavering focus. They never let distractions, emotional whims, or fleeting relationships derail their life trajectory. They know that true attraction comes from a man who has direction, passion, and self-mastery. Many men drift aimlessly, giving themselves entirely to women or external influences, losing identity in the process. Alpha men protect their core purpose. They prioritize personal growth, discipline, and impact over temporary pleasure. Purpose-driven men naturally inspire, lead, and attract. Actionable advice. Write down your life purpose or long-term vision. Each day, take one action that moves you closer. When women or others enter your life, let your purpose remain non-negotiable. Energy invested in growth multiplies your influence, your confidence, and your attraction. Emotionally, living with purpose fills life with meaning, resilience, and joy. Women feel the energy of a man who knows exactly who he is and where he's going. Alpha men don't just survive, they thrive, lead, and create legacies that outlast fleeting attention or validation. Alpha men aren't defined by charm, money, or luck. They're defined by what they refuse to do. They never chase approval, compromise values, play games, tolerate disrespect, or abandon their purpose. They embrace solitude, master emotions, and live intentionally. If you adopt these principles, your life transforms. Confidence skyrockets, relationships deepen, and respect becomes automatic. Start today. Stand tall, protect your energy, live with purpose. If this video inspired you, subscribe for more life-changing wisdom. Share it with someone who needs this, and comment your thoughts or stories below. Let's rise together as men of value.